Thanks for joining us. Mervyn King testifies today about the quarterly inflation report. What's the key in this testimony, Thanos?
Well, I think that Governor King has always tried to talk down the pound from the beginning of this year. There has been a sort of indirect pressure towards a lower currency, which helps the UK in terms of its exporting side. But we do believe that the UK pound, or the British pound, is really one of the most undervalued currencies of the major economies. We are overweight the British pound, and we would expect it gradually to continue appreciating against the dollar, but also against the euro.
Why do you say it's undervalued then? For what reason?
Well, if we look at the effects that sterling has had, has been affected from the recent crisis of the last year, it has been hit more than most of the other major currencies. We've seen a significant rebound on the pro-commodity currencies, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, but the UK has been lagging behind. And in terms of the gradual economic recovery we're seeing, maybe the GDP data surprised us on the downside, but consumer information and housing prices do have a positive upside.
Although we do have GDP revision this week, is there a chance it could be revised upwards slightly? And what are the repercussions, the implications of that?
Well, I think we may see a little bit of a revision upwards in the UK, but in terms of the currency, it would probably be more important to see what the US GDP's revision is going to be. That will probably drive the US dollar and cable as a result.
3.5 was the original estimate. I mean, our forecasts, the economists we've surveyed, 2.8. Is that about in line with yours?
That is very much in line with what we're expecting. And for us, the risk, which the market is not really assessing, is the probability of the Fed starting to hike a little bit sooner next year, in other words, around the summer, rather than later in next year. And this could have an effect on the US dollar.
You're still negative on the dollar. I mean, how negative are you? Because there seems to be a lot of negativity against the dollar right now, doesn't there?
We have been negative on the medium and the longer term. Those underlying factors are still with us. The only small concern is that it has become a bit of a consensus trade, or at least a consensus view. So we have taken a little bit of profit of that position. But we think if the underlying data starts to improve in the US economy and decline in the unemployment rate, then that will be the beginning of a appreciation in the dollar, probably towards the high 130s, low 140s against the euro, and that will be seen as a tactical opportunity for reserve managers to come in and sell some of those excess dollar reserves they hold.
Got the EFO report today, Thanos, 9 o'clock UK time, should show an increase once again. What does that tell us about the strength of the German economic recovery?
The German economic recovery, I think, has surprised everyone. It has been very sustainable. The exports have not had any significant impact despite the increase of the euro. That's partly to do because of the Asian region where Germany is exporting to. Their currency has been appreciating probably more than the euro. So from a competitive point of view, it has not been adversely affected. We also hear about the fiscal policies which Chancellor Merkel is trying to push through the economy. So it is quite a positive story. So we maintain our positive outlook on the euro.
Is it an economy, though, that's just driven by stimulus rather than fundamental factors? Some analysts pointing to a W-shaped recovery, saying the nation could slip back into recession next year.
We don't have the W or the double dip as a central case across either the US, the UK, or Europe. And to be fair, and the UK and the US are operating on the back of this stimulus. And we're hoping that the gradual recovery or the continued recovery of the emerging market world will help support that. But specifically in terms of Germany, the underlying balance sheets of consumers are in a better shape than the UK and the US. So if there's one area where we can see a little bit more of an upswing, is there.
Thanos, thanks very much for joining us today. Thanos there from Investec.